Welcome to the Did You Know series of the Voices of Life podcast, a ministry of the Church for Life. A place where faith speaks, where history breathes, and where hope finds its voice again. Each episode is crafted to inspire, to strengthen, and to guide you on your walk with God. And now, to lead us through today's journey, here is your host, Pastor David.
Welcome to the Voices of Life, a ministry of the Church for Life. I'm Pastor Dave. Today's Did You Know takes us to August 12th, a date where two very different lives tell one powerful story. On one side, General George Washington standing at the edge of crisis that threatened the survival of the Continental Army. On the other, Jane Frances de Chantal, a woman of deep Christian faith who carried grief, loss, and responsibility with extraordinary perseverance. Two stories, two worlds, one shared truth. Faithfulness matters even when victory is uncertain. Let's explore what happened and why it is still speaking to us today. On August 12, 1776, George Washington wrote a now preserved letter to Major General Charles Lee from his headquarters in New York. In that letter, Washington revealed the full weight of the crisis he was facing. He warned that British could soon outnumber the Continental Army by thousands. He reported that his own troops were very sickly, and he feared the enemy might cut New York off from its waters and land communications. The British force could concentrate more men at a single point than the Americans could, he wrote. Washington wasn't imagining a distant threat. The invasion was imminent. His army was under 20,000 men, and only about 10,500 were fit for duty. Disease, especially smallpox, was ravaging the ranks. Desertion was rising. Supplies were thin. Militia reinforcements might not arrive in time. He says, and I quote, "My army is very sickly." And Washington just had to make that admission. Yet, even in this moment, Washington told Lee something remarkable. Victory was not within human control, but Americans could strive to deserve it. Within 10 days, the British would land on Long Island. Within 15, the Continental Army would suffer a major defeat. And yet, Washington would preserve the army, retreat through New Jersey, and keep the revolution alive. His August 12th letter stands as a snapshot of leadership under crushing pressure. August 12th is also an optional memorial of St. Jane Frances de Chantal in the modern Roman Catholic calendar. Born in 1572, Jane Frances lived a life marked by profound hardship. She lost her mother early, she married young, she buried children. And after only 7 years of marriage, her husband was killed in a hunting accident. Her grief was deep, but her faith was deeper. She devoted herself to raising her family, serving the poor, and caring for the sick. Later, through her friendship with Francis de Sales, she co-founded the Order of the Visitation of Holy Mary in 1610, a community known for its accessibility, spirituality, and its commitment to visiting and caring for the sick and poor. Wife, mother, widow, servant of others. Her life is not a call to veneration for a non-denominational audience, but it is a powerful Christian example of perseverance, compassion, and service. So what makes August 12th so striking? On the same date in history, Washington faced overwhelming military odds, sickness, desertion, shortages, and a looming invasion. Jane Frances faced overwhelming personal loss, widowhood, grief, and the responsibility of raising children alone. Both continued forward, both served others, both remained faithful when victory was uncertain. Their stories remind us of a biblical truth. Perseverance does not mean pretending adversity isn't real. Perseverance means doing what is right despite the adversity. James 1 verses 2 through 4 says perseverance produces maturity. Galatians 5 verse 13 says serve one another in love. And Romans 5 verses 3 through 5 says suffering produces perseverance, character, and hope. John 3 verse 18, love in deed and truth. Perseverance through adversity, faithfulness when victory is uncertain. Washington could not guarantee victory. Jane Frances could not erase her grief, but both chose faithfulness. And that is the heart of today's Did You Know? A reminder that in our own battles, our own losses, our own uncertainties, faithfulness is still possible and still powerful. Thank you for joining me today on Voices of Life. As we look back at August 12th, Washington reminds us that courage is often quiet, steady, and carried out in the face of overwhelming odds. Jane Frances de Chantal reminds us that faithfulness can rise from seasons of grief and loss and become a blessing to others. Both lives point us to the simple truth. Perseverance is not pretending adversity isn't real. Perseverance is choosing to do what is right in the middle of it. If today's episode encouraged you, share it with someone who needs strength for their own journey. Until next time, stay faithful, stay grounded, and keep listening to the voice that leads you forward. I'm Pastor David.
Thank you for joining us today on the Voices of Life podcast, a ministry of the Church for Life. As we close, may the stories we share strengthen your faith, steady your heart, and remind you that God is present in every chapter of your journey. If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who needs hope. And until we meet again, walk in truth, stand in courage, and keep listening for the voice that leads you forward. This has been Voices of Life. Peace be with you.